Hey girl, you a parking ticket? You got fine written all over you.
Hello, I'm Dr. Centers of Wake Forest University.
And I'm Dr. Pugh of the Pugh Research Center.
Dr. Pugh and I are both researchers and psychologists specializing in communication and human behavior.
Wake Forest University and the Pugh Research Center are teaming up to conduct research on the communication and miscommunication of attraction through nonverbal behaviors.
The information that we gather will not only be beneficial to the community of human behavior studies, but will also be widely applicable both in our everyday lives, counseling, and even online relationship businesses.
All we need is a little pocket change to make this research possible.
Hey, what's up? Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I can't seem to get this jar open.
Oh, here, I'll get it for you.
No.
You should, I can do it.
No.
I just had to
Yeah, all right.
get the jar open. Although it may seem weird to think about, humans have mating behaviors like any other animal. It is said that roughly 80% of our communication comes from nonverbal expressions.
Body language can communicate if we're interested or not so interested.
This is all a result of natural selection. Those who flirted had an advantage to finding a mate over those who didn't.
You flirt because your ancestors flirt. In other words, you're here, so it must have worked, right?
There has been lots of research done to try to understand what flirting exactly is.
Women are significantly faster and more accurate than men at detecting expressions, with the exception of anger. Their speed also increases the better they know someone.
Women who smile are perceived as more attractive, and it's not surprising that all women tend to smile when they're attracted to someone.
Studies also show men who had just experienced a rise in testosterone due to male-on-male competition are more likely to flirt with the first woman they see.
Men also tend to change their faces to look tougher towards scary things in front of a woman they find attractive to display themselves as a fitter mate. All of these are just little pieces of one big puzzle. The 5 flirting styles were identified by J.A. Hall initially as how individuals flirt based on personality and what a person wants from a relationship. However, Hall, in a recent study, matched his styles with specific nonverbal behaviors.
Physical flirts need physical contact, sitting in close proximity to one another and making excuses to touch who they're attracted to.
Polite flirts, on the other hand, are cautious and often mask their attraction. They often try to keep their distance between each other.
Traditional flirts have the greatest amount of gender differences. Men are aggressive, while women show passive behaviors.
Sincere flirts convey attraction through interest. They tend to lean forward and focus their attention on each other.
Playful flirts are just doing it for fun. They tend to be the most flamboyant, with lots of closeness and physical movement.
Despite all of these methods of communication, sometimes it seems like the signal doesn't always go through.
Henningsen found that there is a difference in the way men and women interpret flirtatious behavior, which affects how they perceive each other. He calls this a miscommunication between the sexes.
So if there's confusion just between men and women, what does it mean when you include all 5 of the flirting behaviors?
Do some styles communicate better with others?
What happens when a touchy physical flirt comes into contact with a distant polite flirt?
And ultimately, does your style determine who you end up with as a mate?
We want to answer these questions.
The goal of our study is to figure out how communication and miscommunication occurs between different flirting styles and how these elements affect compatibility between individuals.
Our methods will be based off of the techniques Hall used in his study, so our results will be comparable.
Participants will be single heterosexual college students who will receive class credit for participating in the study. Everyone will be evaluated via personality tests to see which flirting style they have.
Participants will be randomly coupled and observed as they are situated in a room to talk one-on-one for 10 minutes. We will be monitoring them via video and microphone, observing for nonverbal flirting cues. After 10 minutes, they will be interrupted and taken to separate rooms to complete a questionnaire.
They'll be asked to rate how attracted they were to their conversation partner, how attracted they thought their conversation partner was to them, and why they thought this. They'll also be asked how much information they exchanged and if they'd be interested in seeing their partner again.
For example, if a woman thought the man she was talking to was not interested in her when he actually reported feeling attraction, miscommunication occurred and variables would be analyzed.
The majority of our budget will be geared towards the payment of researchers, who will work on the time-intensive activity of observing behavior and analyzing 100-some questionnaires.
The remaining will go to the assurance of proper recording technology, advertisement, renting a research venue, and miscellaneous supplies such as pens, printing, and water bottles.
But let's be real here. You probably want to know what we figure out, don't you?
To all who donate $20 or more to our budget will receive access to our published study without a subscription to the journal.
So, are you a parking ticket? 'Cause